Hello, it's Alexander. Today I am going to be sewing a lap zippered closure pillow for my friend Paprika Jackson. Now, the pillow size that she requested was a 50 by 50 centimeter or 20 by 20 pillow insert. That is what she is using, and has requested it to be, the pillowcase anyway, slightly smaller so the pillow looks puffier. Now, I have been provided the fabric. I have it here. This is what I've been provided with. It is, let's take it apart here, some tropical canvas from the IKEA. Now, as you may suspect, I am not pre-washing this. I am not the one for that. Any sort of home deck thing? Ugh, pre-washing? Meh. The chances of this pillow going through the washing machine, although Paprika does spill a lot of wine, I'm not too worried. 2, I'm just gonna get right into cutting after I've done these measurements. Now, let's work on this pillow for Paps. Let's start by what we know. We know that she has given me a pillow insert that is going to be 20 inches by 20 inches. We also know that she would like the pillow to look as puffy as possible. So we are going to go down to an 18 inch by 18 inch finished pillow cover. Let's look at what we need to cut. The front will need to be 18.5 by 18.5. Using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, this would mean it will be 18 by 18 finished. We will need 2 back panel pieces. Both will need to be 18.5 by 12.5. This gives you extra fabric for the flap and any extra fabric for positioning later, which you will trim. How did I get 12.5? Well, I always like to add 3 inches. I know it sounds excessive, but I like to have enough. On one of those back panel pieces, you will need to draw a line 1.5 inches up from the bottom edge. This is a fold line that you will need to iron later. What does this mean? We will need to cut 1 at 18.5 by 18.5 out of the fabric and 2 at 12.5 by 18.5. That's 3 pieces altogether. I just have to say, I'm sorry. This is the first time I've done an overhead view like this. You may see some unattractive items, namely my hairdo, and the angle of the camera might be slightly out. Sorry! So, I have the fabric laid out here on my cutting board, and conveniently, I have an 18 by 18 square to cut with. If you don't have this, just use a regular ruler and some chalk or a pen to mark out 18.5 by 18.5. The good thing about having a clear, large ruler like this is I can decide what I want the front to be. Do I want the front to be these floral? Do I want it more abstract with these? Like this? What could be done? More interest. This will be the center. You see some pillow, see some of those. I'm going to do that. So I just need to get my rotary cutter out and go for it. And there we go, 1 18 by 18 inch pillow cut from the fabric. Let's just take this off, and there will be the front. Now we have to work on the back. Based on our diagram, there's a diagram, we need 2 at 18.5 by 12.5. So, I'm going to put this up here. Let's get this sort of lined up. Again, using my ruler here, I am just going to be slightly lazy about this. You don't have to be. If you want to, sure, why not? It's the square pillow. No one's coming for you if you do it differently. I'm certainly not. Let's just trim the top first. So I have trimmed the top. This gives me a starting surface. Now, what I'm going to do is move this, turn it around here anyway, to 12 and a half. I guess I really didn't need to turn it around. 12 and a half, because I know that line is straight. 12 and a quarter is right there. So as our plan suggested, we need 12 and a quarter by the 18 and a half. So now I can cut this. So there is one of the back pieces we need. Now we have the rest of the fabric to work with for the last piece. Now that we have all our pieces cut, it's off to the serger. Just feed those pieces through the serger, chain stitch them if you need to. Now, I am sure you were asking, why bother serging all the edges? 1, I just think it looks nicer. 2, it helps prevent the fabric from fraying in the meantime from heavy use or taking the cushion in and out for washing. I just find if you serge the edges, you will have less fray. Plus, again, it gives you a nice sewing line and guide when you are putting the parts together. Now, if you do not have a serger at home, you could always use your regular sewing machine with a zigzag or overlocking stitch. Now take one of your back pieces and measure the 1.5 inches up and mark. This is where we're going to iron along. Press along that line with your iron. And there we go. Look how pretty she is, nice and pressed along that chalk line. Ready to do some top stitching. Over at your machine, you're going to use about 1/4 inch and top stitch along that fold line. There we go. Look how pretty that is. Nicely stitched and ready to add the zipper. Now you're going to pin the zipper face down to the right side of the fabric. That means right sides to right sides. If you have a zipper foot, this is when you want to change to that. Now, once you've done the pinning and changed to a zipper foot, sew the zipper to the fabric. Look at me giving you another view of me zipper footing my zipper to the fabric. So classy. Once we have sewn the zipper to the fabric, we will be top stitching now along that new edge. This will provide a nicer finished look. See, right along there where my finger is. As you may have noticed, I didn't remove my zipper foot. You can if you like, but there you go, nicely top stitched for that professional look. Now you are going to add the fabric to the other side of the zipper. Pin in place and sew along, and then, as before, top stitch along the finished edge, giving a more professional look. Again, she pretty. Open the zipper and stitch along the back side of the part with the flap. This secures the zipper in place. So there you have it. Look at that. A nice flap that covers and conceals the zipper. Now we have to give it the close-up moment. Ooh, so pretty. Now we have to pin the back to the front. You may wish to pin the flap down in place just for security reasons. Now, place the front of the pillow onto the back, right sides together. You will have some extra on the bottom. Now we just need to sew all the way around the edge. Now, sew all the way around the edge. Be careful of the pins. This is where you trim the excess off the bottom of the pillow. I didn't think you needed a video on this. You're pretty smart. Ooh, I should cut this taily off of the end of the zipper. Yoink, 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 yoink. Off it goes. That's now off. Everything has been serged. And of course, because we put the zipper back, there is a little hole for me to reach my finger into and push the zipper back because we're going to turn it. My fat fingers can't get in there. There we go. Mind the pins that you may have left in there. In my case, I have left pins in there and I've already stabbed myself. Excellent. And now we can turn. We're just going to turn the pillow here. If you have a point turner, this is when you can really get into the corners of the fabric and just make sure they are going to get fairly pointy. All the corners have now been poked out. In this pillowcase, I'm just going to zip up the back here to show you what we have. And because of the way we've done it, there is now a flap with the zipper inside. So now I'm going to stuff a pillowcase into this, or pillowcase, put this onto a pillow insert, and be right back. So I stuffed the pillow. She is finished. You can see the back here where the little flap is holding it all together. There's the zipper all nicely concealed. And she is a done pillow. Paprika better like it. So, if you liked that video, don't forget to subscribe below, comment, and like, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when my latest videos come out. Bye-bye now.